In the city of Shushan, where the palace walls shine, King Ahasuerus poured the best of his wine. 7 long days the music played loud, till pride took his heart in front of the crowd. He called for his queen, said, "Bring Vashti here." But she stood her ground and the room turned to fear. The king in his anger said, "She's gone from my sight." And the crown lay empty that very night. From palace to gallows, from silence to song, Hashem watched his people and carried them strong. When the night was the darkest, faith held the line, and the crown found its place in the story divine. When morning light came, the king felt the pain of a choice made in anger he couldn't explain. They searched through the land for a heart pure and fair, and Esther was taken, though she tried not to be there. A secret she carried, a name she must hide, while Mordechai prayed from the gate outside. She won the king's favor, her beauty untold, and the crown was placed on her head of gold. From palace to gallows, from silence to song, Hashem watched his people and carried them strong. When the night was the darkest, faith held the line, and the crown found its place in the story divine. At the gate late at night, 2 traitors conspired, Bigson and Suresh, with hearts full of fire. Mordechai heard, sent word through the hall. Esther told the king, and he punished them all. Their names were recorded, their crime laid bare, but no one remembered who'd saved him there. Then Haman rose high, full of pride and deceit. Every man bowed when he walked down the street. But Mordechai stood tall, said, "I won't bow to man." And Haman swore vengeance, his terrible plan. He whispered to the king, "Let their kind be destroyed." And a seal on the scroll left the nation void. From palace to gallows, from silence to song, Hashem watched his people and carried them strong. When the night was the darkest, faith held the line, and the crown found its place in the story divine. Mordechai wept in the dust of the street. He tore his clothes and cried at the king's gate's feet. He sent word to Esther, "You can't stay still. Perhaps for this moment, it's Hashem's will." She fasted 3 days, her courage made new, and called for a feast as only queens do. That night the king couldn't sleep in his bed. He called for the records to be quietly read. And there was the story of the man who'd saved his life. No reward had been given for his loyal strife. Bring me Haman, the king did say. What should I do for the man I praise? Haman smiled wide, thought the honor his own. But the king said, do it for Mordechai, no. From palace to gallows, from silence to song, Hashem watched his people and carried them strong. When the night was the darkest, faith held the line, and the crown found its place in the story divine. That night the queen held a feast for two. The king and Haman, his pride shining through. The king asked softly, what troubles your heart? She said, a man seeks to tear my world apart. He plans to destroy my people and me. My name is Esther, and my faith is key. He dares such a thing, the king cried out. And she pointed to Haman, trembling with doubt. The king's face burned, his fury was grand. Hang him, he roared, by his own hand. And on the gallows he built for the Jew, Haman was hanged and justice shone through. From palace to gallows, from silence to song, Hashem watched his people and carried them strong. When the night was the darkest, faith held the line, and the crown found its place in the story divine. Mordechai rose as the king's right hand. The decree still stood, but he made a new plan. The Jews will stand and the world will see that no sword or fear breaks faith's decree. When battle came near, the Jews stood proud. Their prayers rose high, their voices loud. Victory came with the break of dawn, and a nation reborn sang Hashem's song. So Mordechai wrote, and Esther proclaimed, a feast for the saved and the lost reclaimed. Purim was born with laughter and cheer, a story of courage told year to year. From palace to gallows, from silence to song, Hashem watched his people and carried them strong. When the night was the darkest, faith held the line, and the crown found its place in the story divine. From ashes to triumph, from sorrow to light, the hand of Hashem turned wrong into right. So we feast and we dance, and the story goes on. For Esther stood brave, and the crown was won.